And we've talked a lot about the importance of keeping it on the straight and narrow, the importance of the coxes over the next minute or so. For London, Ben Moore, I know he's looking forward to playing his key role at the start, maintaining that aggression. And for Oxford, the experienced Tintin Stutter, who steers the big boats, and these are the biggest boats of them all for Oxford University. She's competed in the reserve boat race. Focus on the athletes, the oars, men and women, Greg, but the role of the coxes at a point like this right on the start.
Yeah, there's a need to keep things calm. If you like, you're talking to the head and you're talking to the heart. The head needs to be calm right now, but there needs to be real fire in the heart, fire in the belly once this race gets going.
The first of the women's semi-finals. London in turquoise, Oxford in purple for a place in the final.
And that Oxford crew again has got away really nicely, just squeezed it up to that lead, that 6 feet or so, we call it the canvas, the bit at the front of the boat, and they've stolen the canvas already. And they just look so nicely synchronised the way they come out around that rigger, already coming up to row quite a long stroke, and looking very strong in the purple already.
I know they have focused on staying nice and relaxed as much as they can. They know they can't afford a bad stroke, keeping their heads in their own boat. They're not worrying too much what London are up to at the moment. They've done lots of one-on-one racing this season, but they know right now the only thing that matters is what they're up to.
Yeah, and I've seen that Oxford crew, they're down to about 40 strokes per minute now. So that's more what they're used to in terms of regular kind of rowing. I noticed when we spoke to the athletes there, they said it's choppy on the water. They've got to stay calm, they've got to stay relaxed and handle this quite bumpy water, but they're doing that really nicely coming down here towards the finish line.
Well, London were happy to dub themselves the one-day wonders. They were out on a boat for the first time together this morning. They have made it into the semi-finals, but it will be the semi-finals and no further. Oxford from the off, the stronger and just that little bit classier, and they have booked their place in the final.
Yeah, they had a real togetherness, a real kind of squeeze in the way they moved their shoulders, their backs through, just looked so synchronised that they did very little to slow the boat down. They stayed calm, they stayed controlled in these conditions, and that was great.
So we know, Craig, that the women's final will be between Oxford and either Cambridge or Bristol.
Oxford, Cambridge doesn't have a ring to it. It's not the fastest time for Oxford. They're the fastest on the river so far, Heather, on 52 seconds as we tried to take out the boat. We'll talk to them in just a moment. Sorry about that. Hi, how are you? Let me just stretch over to you there. 1 minute, not your fastest time, but you looked very smooth, very focused. You knew what you're at.
Yeah, I think we got quite a lot of wash, but as a crew that's trained a lot on bumpier waters, I think we handled it as best as we could.
Just seems to get a little bumpier as the day goes on, doesn't it? You might have to shout.
Okay, stand her back in.
Oh, now there's a Cox in control of her crew. Look at that, precision.
Yeah, I think the traffic builds up through the day because everyone's just really excited, so it chops up the water. It's rather ironic that they make it harder for us to row, but makes it probably more entertaining.
The only crew to have gone under a minute in the women's side of the draw here. What are you doing right?
Cohesion and lots of hard work.
Well done, keep it going. You've got a final to look forward to. Cohesion, lots of hard work, that's the key. Keep it tight, no mistakes, Heather. That's been the theme of the day.
It is, well that's the theme of rowing, to be fair. It's teamwork, it's cohesion, rowing together in time, synchronised, and this is what these girls have been doing. I think I was really surprised how quickly they jumped out at the start there. I shouldn't be surprised because they showed it in the heats, but they got that canvas lead very quickly, and then it almost seemed like they just sat there. They didn't do more than they needed to do. They did enough to get to the final, and I wonder if they're just saving something for the final.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know their stroke rate, but they looked very smooth, long strokes. They didn't seem to be over pushing it. They looked comfortable, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. They were just content with where they were, and I think if London wanted to draw back a little bit towards the finish, Oxford had something in the bag to pull away from them again if they needed to, but they didn't have to do that. They're definitely saving something for the final. I'll be excited to see what they've got.